Hello Year 2 and welcome to another topic lesson. Today we're going to be finding out a little bit more about continents. Which continent do we live in? Let's see what we're actually going to do. We're going to locate the continents and countries in the world. We've got oceans in there as well, but I've kind of taken that bit out of this lesson for our home learning. We're going to just focus on the 7 continents. I want you to see if you can confidently locate the 7 continents of the world today, and if you can tell me about 2 or 3 facts about each one. Hopefully you can present them to me in a little booklet. Our keywords which I'd like you to be thinking about are world map, continent, country, population, ocean, land and globe. We also have the continents. Can you remember what they are? Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, South America. Now, can you beat the geographer? We're going to play a little game. If you've been able to print off the map of the world, see if you can beat me when I say to find one of the continents. So are you ready? I'm going to just pick up my pen and I'm going to do an X marks the spot on the continent. Can you, before I count to 5, can you find North America? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you find it? Now how about Europe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you find Europe? What about Africa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you find Africa? Asia. Now that's the biggest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about South America? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Antarctica. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, what one have I not yet said? Can you tell me? That's right, it's Australia. Let's see. What's around our continents? Well, we've got the oceans. Can you see what the names of the oceans are? When you come to write some facts today about your continent, maybe you can add which ocean and which sea is around it. Before we actually zoom into our continents, let's have a look at where we are. Now, can you see my box here? I would make my video screen bigger, but I don't know how to. This is the Earth. This is our planet in all of space. Inside our planet, a little much smaller, we've got Europe. And then if we go even further down, oh, I wonder what the next one's going to be. We have got, oh, it's quite hard to get them out. What's this one? This one is, can you see it on there? Oh, that's the camera. It's the United Kingdom. And let's go, because we haven't found us quite yet. What part of the United Kingdom do we come from? Did you get it? We're in England. Put some of these boxes down. Now, we haven't quite found ourselves yet, have we? So, how much further do we need to go? So, we're going to zoom in a little bit smaller, and we have our county, which is Kent. And then let's go further still. When we move into Kent, we get to Canterbury. But we haven't quite found all of us yet. So let's find, look, we've now got our village, which is Chartham. And then if we zoom in even further, we find, there you go, Chartham School. That's how small we are when we think about the whole planet, which we are going to be finding out about today. Can you remember all the countries that are part of the UK? Have a think. That's right, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. So let's take a look at Europe. So Europe is the second smallest continent in size. It's got about 50 countries in Europe, including us. We are still in Europe. In the continent of Europe, along with France, Croatia and part of Russia. There are 739 million, such a big number with so many zeros, that are thought to live in Europe, making us the third largest continent by population. Does anybody know what population means? Pause the video and have a think. Population means how many people actually live there. Most countries in Euro use euro as their currency. We still use pounds and pence. You might want to find out about the famous landmarks around Europe. Some of the main ones are like Stonehenge, Matterhorn, the Eiffel Tower, or Mount Olympus. Around Asia, let's find out a little bit about Asia. So Asia is the largest continent on Earth. It has over 48 countries. Half of the world's population live in Asia. That's over 4 billion. I wonder how many zeros that's got in it. China and India are countries where the most people live. Many famous landmarks are found in Asia. Do you know where they're located? Well, there's the Yangtze River and there's Mount Everest. That could be something that you find out for your information book on the continents. Around Australia. Now let's think about Australia. It seems almost like a small island all on its own. Australia, the continent, is actually called Australasia, which can be quite confusing. I'm going to refer to it as Australia because it's easier to say. There are 28 countries and island groups in Australia. It has a population of around 32 million. But did you know that it actually has more sheep than humans? And over half of Australia is the desert. Australia also has some great landmarks. We've got the Sydney Opera House, Ayers Rock, the Murray River, can't say that, and the Great Barrier Reef. Now let's zoom in on Africa. What do we know about Africa? Well, it's the second largest continent in the world. Africa is home to the largest desert in the world, the Sahara, and one of the world's longest rivers. It's called the River Nile, and there's been some great stories written about the River Nile. The population of Africa is just over 1 billion, quite a lot, and the equator passes directly through Africa, so it gets lots of direct sunlight throughout the whole of the year. Can you remember the equator is a line all the way around our globe, which shows where the hottest part of the world are. So the famous landmarks of Africa are, as we've already said, the Sahara Desert, those famous Egyptian pyramids, and the River Nile. Africa also has Victoria Falls, the Kruger National Park, and the Kilimanjaro volcano, which is very impressive. Then we have North America. So let's find out about America. Well, North America is twice the size of Europe. Wow. The population is around 529 million, and North America has 9 different time zones. That must be confusing. North America is home to some of the world's technology giants, such as Google, Apple, and Microsoft. And we're very thankful for those guys at the moment, aren't we? And the largest countries are the USA, Mexico, and Canada. Some of the famous landmarks in North America include the Empire State Building, Mount McKinley, the Mississippi River, and Lake Superior. There are lots more. So if you want to find out about North America, maybe you can find out some more about some of those famous landmarks. Then we've got South America. South America has Brazil, and that's a very exciting place. It's got great rainforests in Brazil. It also hosted the Football World Cup in 2014. It's got a population of 388. Soccer is the most popular sport in South America. South America has the second longest river, and that's called the Amazon, which have some wonderful creatures that live in the Amazon. And there are some other large countries called Colombia, Argentina, Chile, and Peru. Some of the famous landmarks in South America, apart from the Amazon, which we've already talked about, are Machu Picchu, Sugarloaf Mountain, Christ the Redeemer, and the Amazon rainforest. Now we go from the very hot to the very cold as we go down, right down to the southern hemisphere and Antarctica. Antarctica is very cold. It is the highest, driest and windiest, emptiest, coldest place on Earth. Antarctica is known as the frozen continent. It's got no cities or villages, and the only settlements that exist there are for research, where scientists go. And they go there to find out what the Antarctic is like. Getting very tongue-tied today. The size of Antarctica keeps changing. It's bigger in the winter than it is in the summer because the large amount of the sea ice that forms. Antarctica is a very interesting habitat. You might want to find out about some of the creatures that live in Antarctica. Some of the famous things we have in Antarctica are the research stations, the penguins, and ice caps. So it's time to research it. Try and find about 2 or 3 facts about each continent if you can. Use the internet to find out some interesting facts. Maybe you've got some books, or maybe you've got access to that online library. Find some information about the continents around the world, and then see if you can put it into the little booklet that I've put onto the assignment page. You don't have to do all 7 continents. If you would like to zoom in on 1 or 2 or even 3 continents in more detail, that's absolutely fine. I would just like you to find out about 1 or more continent and put them into the presentation books. Remember the key words. Can you find out about its population? Can you find out about any key landmarks? Maybe what the weather's like? Anything at all. Find out those facts, and I look forward to seeing them when they're finished. Bye for now.